Hey guys, today we're driving a 2017 Subaru WRX STI. We are riding on a set of flat-out suspension GR40 rally coilovers. We've got quite a bit more ground clearance, especially on the front end, a little bit of a lift on this STI. Running stock tire sizes, the Dunlop Sport Max GT tires on a set of 18-inch wheels. This is the 2017 STI, so that means we're still running the slightly smaller brakes. So the 4-piston calipers up front, the 2 pistons in the rear. This has a set of DBA 4000 rotors on all 4 corners. We've got some upgraded bushings for kind of some heavy-duty driving, track use, rally cross type stuff. This has mostly been a daily driver. It has 96,000 miles on it, but it's also done quite a bit of back road blasting. Had a little bit of an interaction with the deer here at one point, but that's been mostly massaged over. Proper looking STI, definitely a driver's car. Look at the front end ground clearance on this. We do have some front skid plates and a little bit beefier bushings underneath, but for the most part, stock engine, bone stock power levels. No need, not even an air filter in this. So that's how you kind of want it. You want to do frequent oil changes to these EJ motors and leave the power in tune as it was from the factory. Pretty spacious interior in this STI, a lot of room in the back seats to sit down, stretch out, go 4 deep in your 4-door rally car. A couple cup holders down there. My good friend owns this car and he uses it to haul his dog. So there's a lot of dog hair flying around in the nooks and crannies, but otherwise, pretty cool car. Quad exhaust tips in the rear, rally armor, mud flaps. We're gonna be heading out with my buddy in this. He's gonna show me around some local dirt roads. So we should have a pretty good drive in this 2017 STI. It's been a while since we've driven one of these, and drive one that has a little bit more of a rally focus is gonna be a treat today. Super tight shifter. Engine sounds great, a little bit more noise from a lot of those harder mounts. So I gave a brief overview on what you've done to this car, but not everything. You've done bushings, skid plates, the GR40 rally coilovers from flat-out suspension. You get what, about 12 inches of droop travel in the front, or is it more?
I think total travel is like 10.8 without a sway bar connected. With a sway bar, we're around 10.
Okay.
Rear, you're at like 9.7, 9.8 with sway bars connected.
Nice.
You can go lower in the rear, but with factory lower toe arms, you'll have body contact issues. So trying to make it as daily friendly as possible.
Nice.
You can take the same right up here.
Cool. I'll let things warm up just a minute. Still kind of getting used to the clutch and throttle interaction of this car. I can already feel the ride is nuts. Very little body roll. This 2.5 turbo does sound great. You have any more aggressive engine mounts? Or just rear diff?
Some engine trans and diff.
Okay, cool. Hey, it feels tight.
Pitch mount as well, but that's kind of, if you're ever doing anything with an all-wheel drive car and you just upgrade like the rear diff,
Sure.
you actually work the other mounts a little bit harder because one of them doesn't move, the other one still moves.
Yep.
So you try to do everything as a system, just so that you don't have one that may be overworked or underworked, but finding those systems that don't rattle your teeth out are, you have to do your due diligence.
Yeah, this is a little bit more of a street-friendly setup that you have on here.
Correct. This is legitimately my wife's daily driver in the winter. We use it to haul the dogs around, and if the weather's nice, we're in the Miata, and we don't really have to worry about this. But having AC, hopping in it, driving 10 hours to Tennessee, while being able to climb over everything your mall crawlers can is kind of awesome.
That's great. Best of both worlds. And it seems like it still handles pretty well in the dry, on the road, on the pavement.
We'll hit dirt on the way back.
Yeah.
It fundamentally feels just like a stock 2017 STI that has got the ground clearance.
Sure.
The only time you really notice it is over very abrupt imperfections in the road, i.e. railroad crossings that would extremely unsettle the car. That's where the dampening really shines. And you can fine-tune car behavior a little bit if you dial in the dampening, but right now we've got it set on the softer side because daily.
Sure. Yeah, it feels great. You said if you really want to hustle this thing around on the dirt, you can disconnect the front sway bar.
Yep.
Or both sway bars.
Both, and that just lets everything move and work a little bit more dynamically.
Nice.
So that if you hit a massive rut with the left front, it doesn't transfer any energy to the right front.
Sure. It just soaks it all up.
Yeah, it lets everything work independently. Cool. If you're doing rallycross, you pull off the Rallitek Quick Connect sway bar links, and you're riding on a cloud. The only thing is, if you don't have it connected on the road, you do feel a little bit of sway.
Sure.
So daily versus weekend competition, it's whatever you want.
Yeah. You said the alignment, everything dialed in.
100% stock eccentric bolts.
That's awesome.
Stock camber heads, stock arms, and it aligned within factory specifications.
That's amazing.
Exactly.
Didn't even need to put camber bolts up front.
Nothing.
That's great.
Anything higher, you would, but you can get around 2 to 2.5 inches total lift without really needing to worry about it day to day.
Okay, cool. Do a little quick stop here. Yeah, very little dive.
It doesn't really change the vehicle dynamics.
Yeah, feels great. Nice. Motor still feels healthy, 96,000 miles in.
If you want your EJ to live, do maintenance.
Yeah.
Maintenance.
What do you do? Rotella in here?
Rotella T6, 5W40.
Every 3,500 miles?
Yes, from
Nice.
day one. And then the other reasons that they end up blowing. Now, 2018, they went to a forged bottom end with a Type RA block that everyone loves, and those are good to like 500 wheel horsepower.
Yep.
They're solid.
Okay, nice.
Pre that, over oil changing. Clean the PCV tank, and Cobb used to sell a kind of a relocation kit.
Okay.
But you don't fundamentally need it if you have stock power. You don't have any increased blow-by.
Sure.
So clean the PCV lines out. It's $35 for a spare one. You can swap it out in 10 minutes during an oil change, completely flush it.
Oh, that's awesome.
It keeps the oil vapors from getting ingested in.
Okay.
Do plugs at 50,000 miles. That's pretty much it.
Sweet. Don't tune it.
Don't tune it.
Leave it stock.
They are fun too.
Don't boost under 3,000 RPM. Downshift a little bit.
If you do, it doesn't. If you leave
The stock tune will protect it.
It doesn't over torque it down low. Feel the lift off rotation.
Yeah, nice. Still sticky, just smooths out everything. light coming on there at $6,000.
6,200. Big gold.
6,200. Cool.
We're gonna take a left.
All right.
We're gonna enter into some dirt.
Nice. Yeah, getting used to this Sport Plus drive mode. This feels pretty good.
Get it.
Cool.
We got suspension.
Brakes, you have Porterfield R4S's up front and a set of Hawks in the rear.
Yeah, the Porterfields were back ordered. In my mind, the Porterfields are about the best street pad you can get. I've used them across almost all of the vehicles that I've owned, and they don't dust a lot. They make very little noise. They've got great initial cold bite. They work well on track if you don't have a bazillion horsepower.
Yep, super linear pad too. You can really modulate it well.
Yeah, I love the R4S's. We ran through a set on here, and I was trying to replace them. The back ones were back ordered and never got fulfilled, and I had to have rear brakes, so we ended up going with some Hawks.
Nice.
I do like the increased rear brake, so if you turn off traction control and we start to play around in the dirt, you'll feel a little more rotation. Just hold it.
Grip and rip. Yeah, it feels awesome.
After this corner, there's going to be a right. We're going to take it. Don't be afraid to brake late. Get the thing rotated in.
Cool.
There's your right.
Right here.
We'll get you.
We'll get you in there. I don't know. I want to see around the corner some too. Cool. I haven't had quite the rally school training that you have in this on this platform. We're in third. Yeah, the rear end comes around beautifully off throttle. That trail braking is great. Oh yes.
You can just dance and
Yeah, it loves it. I bet this is super fun to drive in the wintertime too.
Scandy flick it. Hit it. Hit it. Hit it. Come on. There you
Turbo lag, driver lag,
go. Also deer.
deer
I
lag.
think deer. Is it deer? Yeah.
That's a deer. I see a tail.
So, driving dynamic, you can do the same, but you work a little harder with factory suspension because you have a little bit stiffer spring rate.
Yeah,
So,
that makes sense.
if you lessen the moment of inertia, or it becomes easier to move the weight around, cars become a little more playful. You want to get away from that when you're on track because you don't want cars that are necessarily too playful,
Yep.
right? But if you're going over uneven terrain, you don't want a 1,000-pound front spring because it's just going to make the tire blast through the dirt.
Sure.
You need all of the weight transfer. So the biggest thing is that it took everything that was already there in the base platform and made it easier to access on a daily basis.
Nice. Cool. Well, good stuff. Thanks, man.
My pleasure.
Yeah.
You can do your outro.
This is fun. Yeah, we'll do a little outro. Walk you around this one more time. Getting in and out of this with the extra ride height is pretty cool. Still can't get over this approach angle. All right, guys, well, there's your dose of 2017 STI on rally coils. We'll see if we can get our hands on this again in the wintertime, mob it through some snow, maybe take it ice racing or do a rallycross. Who knows? We'll see. But overall, pretty darn fun car, and very versatile in how you can use it.